in for another edition of Industry Conversations 101. Tonight I have a special guest with me, up and coming sensation, rapper, active, Akbar. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Queen. I'm doing great, actually.
Yeah,
Having
yeah,
a
yeah.
good.
Love the name. Love the name, which means greatness.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, see? I knew you knew something. You look like, what I'm saying, you got a PhD in something.
Oh
I
no.
can't guess it right now, but I'm sure it's something.
Well, thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you on the show tonight. I had the opportunity to listen to your music. Dope artist. Um, I'm a lyrical person, so I know we're gonna be able to get into the conversation tonight because um, two of the songs that I had the pleasure of listening to are very, very, very deep records. It's something new, something fresh. I'll say it's different than what we hear right now. And first and foremost, let's talk about your name. As I say, it means greatness. So, how did you, is it, your name that was given to you by birth, or was something that you just decided to, name yourself as an artist?
Yeah, it was really just, me looking for an artist name and always being aware, what I'm saying, of just different Arabic names and just the meaning behind them and stuff like that, and the attributes that are attributed to the names and stuff. So Akbar was just one that like really stood out for me, and I just thought it was a dope name to choose as well. So Akbar, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am. Because
yeah.
my mom, I'm actually a junior. I'm actually a junior. So uh, if I could have a cooler name, most definitely be Akbar.
Trust me, I get it. I get it. When it comes to names and what your parents gave you, sometimes it's just like, being an artist is so difficult to pick a name that really describes who you are. And I remember we used to always talk about the name that I would go by. And it was just one of those things to where you just sit and say, okay, like my name is horrible. So a lot of people can't pronounce my last name. So
Man,
yeah, so to be able to pick a name that describes you, describes your flow, I would definitely say that. You are destined for greatness, definitely, because of from what I've heard, you remind me so much of um J. Cole, you remind me of Rakim, you remind me of artist LL Cool J, especially the single that you have out right now, which is YRBG, which stands for Young Righteous Black Girl. So, and I had the video's dope, by the way, just to want to let you know that.
well, I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
yeah, very deep record. We don't really hear artists. We don't really hear MCs. I'm not gonna call you a rapper. I'm gonna call you MC because it's a big difference with that. So, um, and you don't hear a lot of MCs now talk about women in that way that you're talking about women. And I just want to know where the concept came from, where you actually decided to, go in this direction with that record.
Well, for me, man, it was just really just staying true to what you was brought up on. I feel like it's important, man. I feel like I had a great foundation to just sticking to my principles and different moral standards. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I'm perfect or anything like that, but it's just certain things that I feel like we all should stand on. It's the basis foundation that we need to improve ourselves as a society. You feel me? So I would never want to go against the grain
Yeah,
after what I'm saying, everything that we've been through as a people. So uh that's why it's important for me, just to always plant seeds and certain gems in the music. I may have a fun track, I might have like a up tempo track, but I still want to have a underlying message that's feeding the people at the end of the day too.
right, right. And that record basically really does feed into everything that you just said. Sticking to about principles because we hear a lot of music right now that are degrading women. Um, And like you said, staying true to your principles, staying true to what you believe in, and the fact that you took a record to describe the the black woman in its rare form, I think that's commendable, because again, we don't hear that a lot on the radio. We don't hear that a lot or see that a lot in videos, because this video was something that I remember back in the day in the early 90s, early 2000s, where this was cool,
Mm.
and the fact that you're bringing it back to the forefront, I really appreciate that. As an artist myself, I really do appreciate that, because that shows that we have, someone that is bringing the essence back to hip hop, bringing the essence back to, um, you know, true hip hop, and also bringing the essence back to principles, like you said. Talking about love, talking about things that are just not being as degrading. So I definitely can appreciate that. Now, as I said earlier, like, I'm not gonna call you rapper, I'm gonna call you MC. What are some of your influences?
Man, some of my influences, uh, just as far as like different rappers or just
Yeah,
in general. I
right.
mean, I listen to so many different genres of music, man, from old school, from like what you were saying in the early 2000s. Like I feel like I came up on the perfect combination of just soul and music, like coming
Mm,
up in the early 2000s with Lauryn Hill, and Common, and Mos Def, and Kanye, and you know what I'm saying. All this is like just I absorbed all that, and I just feel
mm.
like that's what I want to emulate in my music, if I can, try to do that. So, uh, I feel like that would mainly be my main influence right now. It's just just trying to put the soul back in hip hop. I feel.
Yeah, and I can see that, because in your single YRBG, it has an old school flow. It reminds you of that old school R&B, which back in the 90s, early 2000s, you heard a lot of that. You heard a lot of samples in hip hop. I remember Snoop, almost the Dr. Dre, everybody back then were using a lot of 70s samples,
Uh,
you know. And in this record reminds me of the old school R&B, actually going back to that time, which again, it just brings back so many memories for myself, when I hear that record. And speaking of R&B, you are signed to Miss
uh,
Karen White, Miss Superwoman herself, which
Super.
is an R&B legend. So how is that like working with Miss Karen White?
Man, it's a surreal experience, man, because it's just she's so down to earth, and so passionate about the music that it's like sometimes you forget, like, what I'm saying, just her stardom and her legendary status just because you shoulder to shoulder with her, and so it's just like being that close and just absorbing all that just wisdom, and just decades of just making the right move, whether it is in music or in investments or in real estate. Just so many different avenues that you know she's an expert in, I would say. So I'm just trying to absorb all that, man, and I just appreciate the opportunity. I'm saying, because she surrounded me with a great team in Supernova Unlimited, from iconic O'Brien to Bruce Sterling, Miss Bridget Vaughn, Miss Rochelle, my publicist, man, who's amazing. She's really on the hunt for, just to uh, put me out there, man. So I really appreciate it for that.
Yeah,
Very
Sora.
honest.
Sora does her thing. Sora does her
Oh
thing,
man,
definitely.
oh man, he's the truth. He's the
Yeah,
truth.
yeah, she is. And speaking of your team, tell us how that came about. Like, how were you introduced to Karen White?
Man, so it was my dad actually knew Miss Karen. They were friends, uh, and had worked together. And so I guess I didn't know how close the relationship was, what I'm saying, really, honestly. But when I sent them the songs, because I just started writing hella songs throughout the pandemic, and I just had a lot of time and a lot of space for real, just sit down and write songs. And I was
Mm,
matriculating outside of school, and just trying to figure it out. So it was just really like a Cinderella story when you think about it. But I sent some songs out to my dad, to like my friends and stuff like that, just to get their feedback on it because I was recording it on my garage band in my closet, like on my, but my dad, like, I guess he was playing it and Miss Karen ended up hearing it somehow, or something like that occurred, and I'm not too sure how it happened, but I just sent it for him to take a listen to it, and she ended up listening to it and she fell in love with it, man. And it was YRBG, the song that we were actually talking about that she heard. And so just from there, man, she flew me out to Atlanta, signed me to her label, only artist that she's working with. So I feel like with that, I have like a just an advantage, man. It really suck it up 100%, just one on one. So it's just a great experience, man. I can't put it into words for real. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I can't imagine of being, shoulder to shoulder with someone that is a legend in the industry.
Yeah.
And just as you said, that you have a great team with you, that is able to kind of guide you and kind of help you within the industry. And I think that when you do have a good team, you can be successful if you have people that are for you. And I know you just
Mm,
mentioned, everybody that's on your team right now, and how they're guiding you in the right direction. And let's talk a little bit about your writing style. I know
mm.
you said during the pandemic, you had nothing but time. I think all of us had nothing but time. And
Yeah.
while you're writing, what are some of the things that you love to write about? Because it seems that you are very lyrical. Like I said before, your
Mm,
lyrics are very deep. They're You don't have that a lot. And just last week on the show, we were just talking about lyrical content, and I'm a lyrical person, so a lot of the things that you hear on the radio now, it's not lyrical, anything lyrical or poetic. I'll say
mm.
that because that's what music is. Music is poetry. It's poetry to music. It's poetry to music. So at the end of the day, like, you hear more of maybe things to me it doesn't make sense. To some people
Yeah.
it does. So for you as an artist, for you as a writer, what are some of the things that you are influenced by when you write?
Man, the world, man, you know what I'm saying? The world around me, I would say. Certain situations that I've been through that, come out in certain different types of ways, I would say. And it's hard to really explain like the writing process in words for real. Just because when I think about it, it's just really it's a spiritual type of thing, man, to sit down
Mm,
and on to some music, to some beats that you heard, you know what I'm saying? You felt that vibration, man. And this is the words and your expressions of that. So uh, but it's really gotta be something that I feel like have experienced and been through to be more soulful, man, and really be relatable to the people. We got songs that we playing from the '70s still. It still hits when you cut them on. So I most definitely want to be in that category of just trying to make timeless music.
yeah, see, I'm smiling because I feel the same way. Music, especially like when you're in the writing processes, as you said, it's like when you're thinking about it, you want to make it timeless and classic music, just as you stated, right? Something that's going to be 10, 15 years online, people still playing your stuff, and you got it. You definitely got it. When you're listening to beats, like, I remember Mary said that if a beat doesn't speak to her, she or even or the track or even the song doesn't speak to her, she don't even like record it. So like for you, like when people bring beats to you, or do you produce your own beats, or like do you have individuals that do bring beats to you and you kind of just go through and just write to what speaks to you?
Yes, I feel like I most definitely do that. People send beats all the time, and it's particular people that I really have built like a tight relationship with, just working with, just because I just like the style that they go into and that they
Hmm.
make they with. But it's really something that you just gotta sit down with, man, and just it's something you can't force out. You know, you got to be embracing the experience, man. It's gonna come with some writer's block. You know, I've written songs where I left it alone and I had to come back a couple of weeks later just to finish the song. But I got it finished. I got it recorded.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But that just shows you, uh, it's just the energy and the work that you put behind a certain thing, man, to make it be manifest. So you just gotta stick with it.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking, on that lines, Karen White stated that to bring knowledge and science back to hip hop,
Mm.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I think she said to describe that of you, and I can agree with what I heard. T Pain said a couple nights ago that everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's doing the same thing. We have so many people that are doing the same type of music. When it comes to you, when it comes to your style, what would you say that makes you different from the rest?
Oh man, I just feel like the way that I go about the whole process, man, is just being 100% authentic to myself. Writing songs like I was still in elementary school. The same exact techniques, man. But looking at it as a different way now as I grew. But I just feel like over time, especially if you're somebody who's been writing songs and stuff like that, uh, you just grow to try to perfect your craft, man. After you've been working with it for a while, and so I'm not saying I'm at a perfect craft. I'm trying to continue to perfect it as well, but I like where I'm at right now, and you know, um, I'm excited, man. I got a lot of new projects that I've just recently wrapped up. It's on the way right now as well. So I'm just excited just to to start this whole process, man.
Yeah,
But it's a hard one. It's not it's not always easy going and stuff like that. But we gotta continue to push through. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, this is a blessing. You
yeah,
know, sometimes blessings come with obstacles. You feel me? So
yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. And when you talk about, some of the obstacles that you've experienced throughout this process, and then as an artist, what do you feel that those obstacles have, you know, made to your? What have they done to your process, like your journey thus far? What are some of the obstacles that you faced?
man, man, a lot of obstacles just not even pertaining to the music, and pertaining to the music and just how I, found myself doing music. Uh,
Mm,
and so I felt like, with every stage in life is gonna come a new challenge and a new obstacle. You know what I'm saying? And so as long as we keep that type of mindset and look at it through that type of lens, we won't get caught up in the just running away from it. We would
mm,
attack if we know what it is. If we can identify it as an obstacle, we can attack it as such. So, uh, I feel like that's just my mindset right now as I grow, man. I'm young still, I still make mistakes. I still, uh, what I'm saying? I got a youthfulness about me, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta, what I'm saying, constantly involved, you know what I'm saying? That's where I want to find myself at.
gotcha. And then, of basically finding your sound, which I feel that you found your sound. And like you said, that you're growing as an artist, and it takes forever for an artist to sometimes like find their sound, find what suits them and makes them feel good. So, what do you say about the state of hip hop right now?
Man, it's I feel like the state of hip hop is so massive and expansive right now. It's just hard
Mm,
to try to put a general label on it,
mm,
as being one thing. Because there's so much different, so many different artists, so many different variety of uh subgenres of hip hop that we
Mm-hmm.
could talk about. And I like the creativeness of it, but at the same time, you know, it is we live in a capitalistic society, man. So it's going to be those wolves up there trying to manipulate and uh, corrupt the message that started off pure, but now is kind of convoluted, and you kind of got a lot of brainwashing going on in music nowadays, and so we also got to combat that with truth and good music, and so you just got to pick a side at this point in time, and that's where I feel like hip hop is right now. Everybody is being forced to pick a side of what side of the spectrum do you want to stand on, so
So do you feel like that we're basically reaching the same goal? Is what I'm hearing that you're saying is that you all are pretty much reaching the same goal, because like you said, you do have different genres of hip hop. Like trap is a new form of hip hop now. You do have underground, where to me is more so of your genre. A lot of the artists that I hear underground are really sticking to the trueness of basically of the old school hip hop that you hear. So, and like you said, it is expanding. It's expanding. There's so many different avenues where everybody's taking it. Um, where you even have alternative. There's a lot that's going into that direction also that I've heard. Never, like the very first alternative, I think hip hop record was Run DMC and Aerosmith.
oh
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Walk
Yeah.
this way,
Yes.
walk
So
this.
it was the very first thing, but that was just a thing back then. It wasn't like something that is that you it was rare back then. Now
Exactly.
now you see it everywhere. They,
Oh
like
man,
you said, they have their own specific genre now. So it's expanding in so many different avenues. And when you just talked about brainwashing, and I want to get into that because that's very interesting that you would say that. When we talk about brainwashing, you have labels at this point that are kind of limiting a lot of the artists from really being true to themselves and who they are. I did just on Instagram the other day. Um, there was an artist, I can't remember the name, but I remember the caption there of what they stated was there was a hot song that they kind of released, and the
mm,
label kind of condensed it and will not allow them to release the record because the public right now wants it. The public wants it. But
mm,
however, the label is really, not really allowing them to release, or not even allowing them to be an artist and, be creative. And I think that's very unique about your situation because as you stated, you have someone that is basically in your corner. You have someone that is allowing you to be true to who you are as an artist.
yes,
So,
man.
and then when you're talking about brainwashing, from your I'll just give you the floor on that, or what your perspective is when you talk about brainwashing.
When I talk about brainwashing, man, it's just to a certain point. I feel like a lot of people will classify hip hop as just being one way,
Mm,
and just being derogatory, and that's just a general label on it. But that's the music that the label promotes. That's the
gotcha.
music that what I'm saying the machine promotes at the end of the day, because it's tons of creative and dope independent artists that you were talking about, man, that has positive messages, has good songs, you know what I'm saying, that you can vibe to at the end of the day. Because also, all just because the song is positive don't mean it's a good song. We gotta all
Ooh.
come to that agreement. You know what I'm saying? Just because we're talking about positive things don't mean, everybody's going to receive it well. So,
Mm,
we got to be truthful with ourselves at the end of the day. But, uh, I feel like it's important, man, that we just take a step back and and see how we are being manipulated through the music. Uh,
mm.
So you see how it, you know what I'm saying, could turn your mood and influence your mood and influence what you thinking. You know, back in the day, my grandmother used to tell me, man, like, food, you know, your diet isn't just what you ingest. It's not just food, you know what I'm saying? It's what you hear, it's what you see. You know what I'm saying? Like that's everything that goes into you. That's what your diet is. So have a good diet, you know. And so you know, I feel like especially in American society, man, you know, we really don't get influenced with a good diet overall of those total three. You know what I'm saying? We watch the craziest movies, you know, got the craziest music being promoted, just the craziest visuals. And so that's why you see, you know, the homicide rate in America and the incarceration rate in America being so high amongst all the other countries in the world, man. It's just because of the type of attitude that's promoted, you know what I'm saying, to think a certain type of way. And so we got to go against that just because, you know, that's not our way, being black African Americans, you know what I'm saying, just black people as a whole. That's not our way of thinking. So we can't conduct like that. So, you know, it's just important to drop those type of gems, man, in the music, you know, those type of gems, thought provoking gems. Not always, you know what I'm saying? You don't gotta always just, you know, stand up on the soapbox, man. You can most definitely switch it up and diversify yourself. And that's why I love being a songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Just because so many different lanes and alleys that you can take it. Uh, but you know, you most definitely got a responsibility, uh, because the world and the condition that it is right now. You know, so I can see if it was roses and dandy, and you know what I'm saying, and fair game. But you know, you most definitely got to understand uh, the influence, the footprint, you know what I'm saying, of the music, just because it's so expensive.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And even, I love the concept that you talked about the diet because, as you said, music does influence a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And I can remember music, even with me growing up. And I know you're from Ohio, so I'm from South Carolina. So,
Oh,
as
okay.
you know, it's a big difference, in music than it was back then, and then also as it is to now. But I
Oh man.
think it's kind of almost the same thing on the same lines because back then music was censored a little bit, but
Mm,
now it's
got
more where it is like you said before, it's expanding. There are a lot of different things that where the youth, you also have individuals that take what is being said to heart and go and emulate what they just heard, maybe what they've seen, because some people take it as, again, as you just said, real life experiences. A lot of people can relate to what's being said in those lyrics or what they may see on videos, and they go back and do exactly what they've seen or what they've heard.
mm,
So I love the concept of what you stated a few minutes ago about music and how music can be so much influential. Because back then, everybody wanted to be Michael Jackson, everybody wanted
yeah.
to be LL Cool J, everyone wanted to be MC Hammer when MC Hammer came out. So
Mm,
you're absolutely right, and even now, you have a lot of influential music. I love J. Cole. I love so much of the new hip hop that is coming out now. Um, a lot of it has a lot of, like you said, some of it has good messages and some of it does not. Um, so it's different, and it is something that I think we all should take a second look at and kind of realize that what's good and what's not. And just as you said, some of the labels are promoting it, I would say, in the wrong way. I think
and that
sometimes, right, yeah, for profit. And I think it's more so of where labels now are looking at the numbers. They're looking at the numbers, they're looking at
got
what they can make profit off of and not just really putting out good music.
exactly. You know, and I feel the same way. You know, it it's really just, you know, they promote it not only through the music but through social media apps as well. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Look at all these social media apps and pages on Instagram inciting rap beefs and, you know, just
Yeah.
incite violence within the communities, man. And you look at the heads of these organizations, man, you see nothing but white faces. So,
Mm,
we got to understand, man, that we just be manipulated at a certain point in time, man, and break free from that. And I feel like with rap music, man, it's a beautiful thing because I feel like in all rap music, it's a good message in all rap music, but it might not be, uh, you know, a good situation in
gotcha.
the song. You know what I'm saying? And so I would most definitely say that as looking at it from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all talk about winning at the end of the day. And it's always messages of triumph, and I just feel like that's our soul. We don't always talk about that in the music. Uh, you know, some of
Yeah,
us we just take a while to grow. So, uh, I'm just thankful, man. Thankful to be in this position and be able
yeah,
to look back on it.
yeah, definitely. And before I let you go, let's talk about everlasting thought,
Yes,
which
man.
is yeah, love it. Love it, love
Man,
the lyrical content, and it goes with on the lines of what we're talking about. Very poetic, reminds me of J. Cole, reminds me of Common. So, what was the thought process behind Everlasting Thought?
man, everlasting thought. It was really just I wanted to make an anthem, man. Just it was around the same time George Floyd, what I'm saying, had been murdered. You know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
COVID and stuff like that, out in Minnesota. And so it was just a lot of things that I could just went into. And so I just wanted to express the point of view and the perspective of the young black youth. Uh, you know, just from my point of view, man, all we have to deal with society and having this everlasting thought that is not just exclusive to us, but exclusive to our parents and their parents. You know what I'm saying? So it's an everlasting thought just because the same situation playing out over and over again through the years. It's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
a Groundhog Day situation. Uh, so you know, at the end of the day, that's why it's called everlasting thought. Got to keep moving. We keep moving through things that should have killed many people. You know what I'm saying? There's been people that've been terminated and extinct, whole races of people that don't exist anymore, and all that we've been through. You know what I'm saying? And we still here and persevering and resilient. Says a lot, man, about who we are at the end of the day. And so, we just got to keep moving in that type of direction.
Right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, before I let you go, first and foremost, I want to thank you for coming on the show with me tonight. Getting into the conversation to learn more about you and about your music.
Man.
Yeah, definitely to get some of your thoughts. And I know you just said you just wrapped up a couple things, so I want to know what can we expect from Akbar in 2021 and going into 2022.
Oh man, we got a lot of things going on, man. In Supernova, man, been real busy. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Just been on the move. I have a mixtape, actually, a free mixtape dropping tomorrow. Uh, is this pre-recorded or is this live?
It's
Yeah,
live. It's
it's
live.
live. Oh,
Live. Yes.
okay. It's live. Okay. My bad, but no. If you go over to my website at www.akbar the G8 G and the number 8.com, you know what I'm saying, and subscribe to the email, you'll receive like my free mixtape, my first debut mixtape, under Supernova. And you know what I'm saying, just let me know what y'all think. It's a small 5-song project, but I got an EP that I'm also planning on releasing at the end of this year. So I'm excited about that, man. And it's all wrapped up. A short film that I actually just now recently wrapped up shooting with co-starring Miss Karen White. You know what I'm saying? Short horror film. So I'm excited to get that out there as well. Trying to think, man. There's some more things that I could mention, but I'm kind of foggy in the mind right now. But I can't. I feel like I feel like that's about it right there. I feel like that's about
Okay.
it. So
Yeah.
but we got a lot of things in motion actually, man. I got some shows out in Jacksonville coming up in October, and in Memphis, in September. Um, you know, So we've been moving around, and it's love. So I appreciate you for
Yeah,
having me.
yeah,
It's been a
yeah, no
dope experience.
doubt.
I feel like this has probably been the most one of the most interesting conversations I've had. You really hit me with some you got like a convo jitsu going on, man.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you. I'm an artist too, so
Yes,
I be
ma'am. Yes,
sensitive about
ma'am.
my stuff.
Yeah, I gotta respect
So
that.
yeah, 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 definitely. And again, I respect your craft. I love your music. Much respect to you. I look forward to definitely for one listening to the mixtape. And
Oh
then
man.
number two, I would love to see you live. I know that it has been a crazy year last year, and now you get the opportunity to really share your gift with the world and do some, performances and get to meet your fans face to face, working with the legend Karen White on movies. So I know that is an awesome experience. And then also get to be in the studio with her and to hear her, give you that greatness, that to give you even that guidance,
Yeah.
into the music industry. So kudos to you and blessings to you. It is an awesome opportunity. It was an awesome opportunity to talk to you tonight and learn more about you. And I look forward to seeing so much from you in the future.
And I appreciate you for having me on, Queen, man. You take care.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Man,
All
we
right,
gonna be in touch
everybody.
too. I need to hear some music, man. You know,
Oh,
I gotta be in
okay. Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Definitely
Yes,
we
man.
need we need to get together on some stuff.
Most definitely. You know, we can do that. I'm gonna set that up. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Set that up.
All right, everybody. This has been another edition of Industry Conversations 101. Shouts out to Press Magazine for sponsoring Industry Conversations 101. It's your girl Nisha. Good night, everybody.